Breaking news: Bill Maher and John Fetterman talk foreign policy, democratic identity, and Trump's Big Beautiful Bill on Real Time. Bill Maher kicked off this week's Real Time by addressing the palpable anxiety in Los Angeles and doing what he does best, cracking a joke about it. 99% of us just want to know, is it safe to pick someone up at the airport? He quipped in his opening monologue, setting the tone for an episode that mixed real concern with his signature cynicism. Maher, as always, walked a tightrope between doom-scroll fatigue and comedic relief. You know things are tense in LA when you read news about the Middle East to relax, he added, before welcoming his first guest, Pennsylvania Senator John Fetterman. The two men, both proud contrarians within the Democratic Party, found common ground quickly. Their conversation, while often light in tone, touched on serious topics including the war in Gaza and intra-party criticism. Maher gave Fetterman room to respond to a recent critical New York Magazine piece, as well as to speak frankly about his own ideological independence. "You talk to Trump," Maher noted, referring to Fetterman's occasional outreach across the aisle. "We all know that's bad," he added with an eye roll you could practically hear. Fetterman, never one to shy away from dramatic metaphors, said, "Parts of my party want to try to turn me into Colonel Kurtz." Maher didn't miss a beat. "You look like you could play the part." The conversation only got tenser when Maher brought up former Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Olmert's recent call to end the war in Gaza. He asked Fetterman if those comments had influenced his stance. Fetterman's reply avoided Olmert entirely, sticking to broader themes, a moment that stood out more for what wasn't said. Still, when Fetterman did line up with the Democratic mainstream, the audience noticed. "The Big Beautiful Bill? I'm going to vote that down," he said, earning the night's biggest applause. On the panel, Maher was joined by Eurasia Group President Ian Bremmer and Moral Ambition author Rutger Bregman. Bregman, making his real-time debut, was a highlight, self-aware, sharply funny, and refreshingly unbothered. "You call this mass protest?" he deadpanned. "This is nothing." Maher also pressed the panel on whether Governor Gavin Newsom might be having a political moment. Bremmer didn't buy it, pointing to the failed Harris/Walz campaign's attempt to make protecting democracy a winning 2024 issue. Bregman wasn't much more hopeful, but added a zinger about the Trump era. "The one thing that relieves me is that it's all so incompetent. If Viktor Orban would be in charge right now, I would be much more worried, because that guy is generally smart." The topic shifted to AI, with Bregman calling for a universal basic income and quoting John Maynard Keynes. Bremmer took a darker view. Learn to code had become obsolete faster than expected. Still, Bregman held on to some optimism. "I think we shouldn't underestimate capitalism's ability to come up with new bullshit jobs." Maher wasn't entirely convinced. Oiling the robots? In his closing New Rule segment, Maher took aim at Elon Musk's suggestion for a new centrist political party. "If the recent past is any indication, Elon is, like, the worst guy to do it," Maher said, dragging Musk's takeover of Twitter, now X, and his stint shilling Doge. "You just switched it from a place conservatives felt supremely unwelcome to the reverse," Maher said of the platform. "That's not what it looks like to appeal to 80%. The critique was laser-focused, and while Maher left the door open for Musk's better angels to prevail, the segment hit like a warning shot.